Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Report. For Randall Riley, I'm Joshua Miller. Now, if you like our content, please subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and hey, go ahead and share the content while you're at it too. Don't forget that we do have another episode of another one of our shows, Digging Deeper, which will be premiering this week. The online debut will be followed by a live Q&A session with Dave and his guests, and the episode premieres tomorrow afternoon. That's Thursday, April 14th at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. More info and a link to sign up is included below. But enough about that. Let's get to this week's report. This week in job board searches and clicks. Driver searches were up 4% week over week, down 5% month over month, and up 26% year over year. For clicks, we saw a drop of 7% week over week and 12% month over month, but an increase of 65% year over year. This week in freight. Total load postings fell by 7% week over week, and that comes in 18% lower than the same week in 2021, but 83% higher than the 5-year average for the week. The only segment to see an increase was refrigerated, which ticked up by just 1%, while both dry van and flatbed both fell by 8% week over week. Regionally, the load availability rose slightly in the southeast, while remaining flat in the south central region and falling sharply pretty much everywhere else. Overall truck availability was up by 15% week over week as the overall load-to-truck ratio fell to its lowest level since December of 2020. When including fuel, spot rates fell nearly 1.5 cents week over week, with dry van rates falling by 7 cents and refrigerated declining by 3 cents, but flatbed rates increased by 1 cent per mile week over week. When you exclude fuel, the overall spot rates fell by 13 cents, and all three segments saw a decline in rates. Dry van fell by 19, refrigerated fell 15, and flatbed was down by 10 cents per mile week over week. Now, the story of the week. If nothing changes, there could be as many as 80,000 trucks on the road right now banned from operating in California. Beginning in January of 2023, trucks with pre-2010 emission spec engines may not be able to operate in the state. Why? The California Air Resources Board, or CARB, passed the rule and originally imposed the deadline some 14 years ago. And if allowed to stand as written and actually enforced, the use of all 2008 to 2009 emission spec engines will be strictly prohibited. RigDig Business Intelligence identified around 76,000 unique VINs tied to trucks in the 2007 to 2009 model years that have worked in California within the past 5 years. This number equates to roughly 17% of California's commercial motor vehicle fleet. For owners in California, the trucks will be blocked from registering after January 1st. Out-of-state owners with older engines could face steep fines or even truck impoundment if found to be running the newly banned vehicles. As you can imagine, there has been some pushback on the impending standards. Various trucking groups have appealed to CARB in an attempt to delay the implementation of the new rules. They cite manufacturing challenges, which have caused shortages to both new and used trucks, and argue that the new rule would decrease efficiency at California ports at a time when they are already struggling with port congestion. If implemented as planned, as much as 1/3 of the drayage fleet would be banned from terminals under the new rule. So far, CARB has yet to issue an official response. And that does it for this week's report. Thanks so much for joining us. Sign up for that Digging Deeper and join us tomorrow for the premiere and Q&A session. I'll be back next week with updated figures and an all-new story of the week. Until then, have a great week, everybody.